Doc says we've got lots to talk about, but before then, you and I have a lot to talk about. Theories about Alex, Doc's editor, quitting, Doc's latest tweet, and of course, the boat ride to the arena. If you've got a theory about Doc's return, let's hash it out right here. First, it was Doc's latest tweet. Are people still streaming video games? What a snooze fest. This alone gave me a theory, and it was compounded by his editor's tweet, which was like an hour before that one. Gosh, there was so much news in the last few days. I gotta just get this video out to you guys. No fancy scenes this time, okay? Okay, let's dissect Doc's tweet here real quick. He asks if people are still streaming video games and how it's become a snooze fest. The way he's asking, it's like as if he thinks it's so last year to stream video games, which is a big turn from what he used to do. My theory aligns perfectly with this guy from Reddit. He said it first. I think. I don't know. I mean, maybe we should have someone ask him. We both think that Doc might return to something other than live streaming, and maybe not even video games. It makes sense because he can control the content on pre-produced videos, and a huge chunk of his money comes from ad revenue anyways. And before you think he'd never do that, or that his latest video tweet disproves that, hear me out. Pre-made videos is how DrDisrespect started. You guys know that, right? Back in 2010, I think, he used to make those weird DrDisrespect videos, which is where the character was first born. And even with that boat video he just tweeted, he only wrote the word tomorrow at the end of it. Nothing about live stream, not even a platform was mentioned, and he didn't mention a game, which he usually does. And even before that, before the snooze fest tweet, about an hour before, Alex, Doc's editor for the gaming videos for the past 6 years, announced his retirement from the Doc's team. This further pushes the idea that gaming videos might not be in the Doc's future. Side note, Alex, Hobart, we love your work. Your edits are what initially drew me to like the Doc, and even though things are on rocky ground now, your work is art, and that won't ever be taken away from you. I'm excited to hear where you go next, and I'm wishing you the best success, honestly. Back to the Doc's future. Think about it. He knocks down the idea of live streaming video games and calls it a snooze fest. Well, we already knew that he was transitioning into other content before any of that controversy. Remember the golfing video? Remember the 49ers video? And like, what about all the IRL content at TwitchCon? I mean, he's been doing this. He's been driving towards this direction. Maybe this controversy just pressed the accelerator a little bit. And again, all we know about that speedboat video is it just said tomorrow. Tomorrow what? Okay, now the other side of me thinks that he did say we have lots to talk about. So I just can't figure out how he'd do it without being live. I mean, I guess he could try to do one of those YouTube explanation videos with a ukulele. I don't know. But I don't think that's really the Doc way of doing things. Think about when he did the cheating confession video. That was live. That's just how he presents himself to the world. So maybe he will live stream tomorrow. I really don't know. What? I'm in the middle of a flow. Tell him to like the video. We talked about this. I'm not going to tell him to do that. Okay, so whatever type of content Doc comes out with next, how is he going to address the allegations? I mean, he already said he had inappropriate conversations with a minor. The legend, he already admitted to it. Shut your mouth. That's not an admission. If you have trouble with that concept, watch my other videos in the series. I dissect everything he says as a lawyer would, because like, look, the graphic says right here, okay, I'm a lawyer. I'm dissecting it. I promise you, I'm giving it a fair weight. So how the hell is he going to navigate this massive issue? One of you guys already said it in a comment. He better have a world-class response to this. And look, so far, he's been hyping it up, especially with the different banners suggesting that we all took the bait of his confession tweet. Next, he did the chess versus checkers thing, and then we have lots to talk about. He'd better freaking deliver. But what would that delivery even look like? I mean, what do you all think he would need for us to welcome him back into the fold? If you saw my other videos, you know that we have pretty solid evidence that he was investigated by the police and they didn't think there was enough to charge him. Or maybe it went up to the DA and they didn't think there was enough evidence. We know that Twitch paid him out something, even though they had him dead to rights, if the truth really went as far as the allegations. We know that only one unnamed source from Rolling Stone said that Doc knew it was a minor at the time. And we know that source came from Slasher. And if you know my research about Slasher's reporting, you know he's not really a journalist. Not yet. I mean, everyone can change, right? But what we're left with is just a bunch of gaps. The things we know didn't happen. The things we think are necessary for a logical conclusion to the worst scenario. But that is not proof that the worst scenario didn't happen. We got to remember that. This is not an exoneration by itself. It just means we can't be sure of any conclusion, good, bad, or ugly. So I really don't know what we would want to hear. Let's really think about this. I'm keeping an open mind, but it's got to be something that is like an offer of proof towards exoneration, something exculpatory, something like that says he actually didn't do the things he's accused of doing, like an alibi, or maybe the chat logs themselves. But I really can't think of a way that the chat logs would benefit the doc unless they're absolutely obvious what the context was. I mean, something like a really stupid joke, like a Family Guy joke, or like maybe something inappropriate that isn't sexting. I don't know, like, oh man, those hot tub streams are super hot, or like, I don't know. And the person on the other end's like maybe like a guy that's under the age of 18 agreeing about hot tub streams. I don't know. I'm trying to keep an open mind, but if it's not something far away from the allegations like that, then releasing the chat logs will just make the haters hate even more, and they'll spin every little word against the doc, so it doesn't benefit him to release those. And honestly, maybe he doesn't even care at this point. Maybe he's past all that. Let the haters hate kind of thing. And maybe he just tells everyone the timeline of what happened without actually saying the details of what was said in the chats or what the accusations are about. And then he moves on. That would appease his loyal fan base, and he can move forward and continue to make content. I don't know. I don't know. I think I need something more. I really feel like I personally would need something more, because even though this series that I'm making started off as legal analysis, and even though legally I wouldn't be able to find him guilty with all this botched reporting and accusers salivating at the buzzwords but not providing the proof, despite all that, I think there's another layer to this. I think there's a moral layer. And to be fair, Doc owned up to that in his now deleted confession tweet, and he strongly denied all the allegations of being any type of predator, but I think a lot of us want more. We want an explanation of why it wasn't really as bad as the accusers made it out to be. We are on the fence. We want to know. Give us something positive, proof positive that it's not what these people are saying. And we may never get that. I'm preparing you guys because many people really connected with DrDisrespect and the man behind the character, but every man is just that, man. His content is uplifting and great, but don't think that he's infallible as a human. None of us are. We all make mistakes, and a lot of us really, really suck sometimes, okay? Now me, I'm not in the business of judging people. I believe we can judge actions, say what's right, what's wrong, but I can't condemn a person to say that they are beyond redemption. It's not my place to judge a person. But my honest feeling about it all is this. Just because a person who made great art did a bad action, whether it was poor judgment or something even worse, that doesn't mean that we don't have to like the art anymore. It doesn't mean we have to hate everything that person created. Each of us gets to decide that for ourselves. And that's how I feel about the DrDisrespect thing, no matter what happens tomorrow or today whenever you watch this. Anyways, you guys tell me what you think. Honestly, the discussion's been great in the comments. Keep it going. I respond to a lot of the comments. And look, click one of these videos if you think my voice is soothing. And don't click the like button.